here. Thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates reformer class focusing on using the feet straps. To set up my machine today, I have my feet straps on. They are pulled tighter than they normally would be if I set up my machine for a regular class. This is because I have them set up for when we do some hamstring curls with the straps over right above our knees. We do need our machines a little bit, our straps a little bit tighter for that. If you don't want to mess with your straps, or you don't have the ability to tighten them, all you have to do is take your strap and put a knot in it. Probably further up so that you can actually get the knot in it. And then you can loosen it up whenever you would like. If you want it a little tighter, then why not? Place 2 knots. So, to begin, I have my headrest up. I have my foot straps on. I have a red and a blue spring on my machine. That is a medium and 1 light whole springs. I don't go any lighter than a blue on my machine. However, if you do have a yellow for a couple of exercises today, you might prefer to use the yellow. I'll let you know when that might happen. So, to begin, I have my foot bar up in my medium or my middle position, wherever your foot bar goes. I'm going to go ahead and lower myself down. I'm going to press out with one leg, bending the other knee to my chest, placing the strap around my arch, pressing out, and finding the other leg. Good. I'm going to scooch away from the shoulder blocks just a little bit. I'm going to squeeze my legs together in a parallel position, and I'm going to come into tabletop. I'm coming into tabletop because if I come in too far, it feels great, but my tailbone lifts off. I'm curling up. I'm pecking my tail. I want to find a nice neutral position with my spine. I want to find an engagement in my glutes, an engagement in my inner thighs. I'm going to be able to platform my shoulders, nice white collarbone, pull my ribs together and down so my 12th rib is on the mat. My sacrum flat, I have a slight lift in my low back. Inhale, exhale, press my legs out to a flex foot parallel position. Engage in my abdominals. Pull it back to tabletop and press. And release. Here's 3. Good. 4. 5. It's not a full movement like you would see maybe on the foot bar. We are pressing up a little higher. We want to really make sure our sacrum is stable. Good. We're going to come back to the tabletop. We're going to march with our presses. So don't allow your leg that's not moving to move. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. I'm going to press my right leg out. The strap's loose on my left leg, but my left leg hasn't moved. As I pull or resist the spring tension to get my right leg in, the spring tension will evenly distribute between both legs. Then I'll press my left leg and come back. I want to keep my legs in tabletop, challenging my abdominals and the position of my body. I don't want to allow any shifting from hip to hip. If you find shifting is occurring, try to really squeeze in through your glutes. Good. Let's do one more to each side. Just think of straightening your knee and bending it back. Ooh, it's easy to come out of tabletop, right, like I just did. And come back. Now, from tabletop, we're going to press out an inch and in an inch. So we're just doing pulses. Squeezing from our glutes, squeezing from our hamstrings. Making sure we're keeping a neutral spine. 2 more. Good. Now, separate your knees and toes to come into a frog in tabletop. Now press out and back. I don't have my feet necessarily flexed. I don't have them pointed. I have them in a neutral foot position. They're not really doing either. Keep it going. Good. Just find a nice breath here. This should be a fun class, right? Final one, and now we'll do the marching. So we're going to just straighten our right leg, leaving the left leg where it is, and come back. Try not to let a hip raise when we're doing this. And right. And left. And right. Try to come all the way back to tabletop to really challenge our glutes and hamstrings. 2 more to each side. Try not to shift in your body. It's definitely a challenge, guys. It's definitely a challenge to come back to tabletop. I keep noticing that I want to press my legs out further. Good. And now we're going to do the pulses. Away an inch and back. Away and back. 2. Pressing from the glutes, rotating the femur and the hip sockets. Squeezing our heels together. Imagine you're holding the dime between your heels. Don't want to lose it. Good. From there, I'm going to scoot away just a little bit from my shoulder blocks. I'm going to come back to the parallel position. I'm going to lift my arms up to the ceiling, coming out of my sternum, my 12 ribs. They're not back here. They're further down right here. I'm going to bring them out, no wider than the width of the reformer, but I'm going to hold my legs in tabletop, allowing my straps to assist me. I'm going to weight my sacrum heavily. Inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching for the foot bar. Make sure you haven't tucked your tail as you curl up. Really go ahead and weight that down. You have the support on your legs. And lower. And lift. One more. We're going to add on to this parallel position. And inhale, exhale to press out and point your feet. Now bring them back, allowing them to relax, not pointed, not flexed. And press and point. And come back. One more. Don't tuck your tail. And back. Now, you guessed it, we're going to open to the frog. We're going to scooch away from the shoulder blocks if we split up, and we're in a particularly slippy shirt today. So I scooted a little bit. I'm going to come back to tabletop. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Don't tuck your tail again. Draw your ribs to your hips and lower. As you curl up, don't crunch your chin to your chest or lift your gaze to the ceiling. Imagine you have an apple, an orange, or an egg under your chin, and you don't want to crunch them or let them roll away. Now we're going to extend our legs to working level, turn out to the Pilates C position as we press up and point. Squeezing our glutes. If we lower our legs slightly, we might find that we can still keep a nice neutral spine, but find more engagement in our glutes and hamstrings. And lower, and press and reach. Curl up. On this next one, we're going to stay up in the Pilates V position, shooting energy out of our feet. And we're going to begin pumping for the hundreds. We're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll notice here, it's easier to do the hundreds when your legs are supported, right? So curl up a little deeper. Focus on squeezing your glutes a little tighter and squeezing your inner thighs, shooting more energy out of your toes. Now curl up a little deeper still, squeeze under your arms, really reaching for the foot bar. Make sure you're not crunching your chin to your chest. Really weight that sacrum so you're not tucking. Hollow out from hip to hip. That's like a nice fluid breath in for 5. And like you're fogging a mirror. One more time. Stop there. Beat your heels for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw your feet back into a parallel tabletop. And allow your knees to come all the way into your chest. Give yourself a nice little roll. It's nice to tuck your tailbone here. Feel your pelvis come up towards your nose. You guys did a great job. From there, we're going to drop our heads. I'm going to scooch away from the shoulder blocks. My straps are on the outsides of my knees. My knees are tucked in to my body. If you have hip replacement, please, or low back or neck problems, please don't do this next exercise. And if you have shoulder issues, please don't hold on to the pegs. Go ahead and place your arms down by your sides as a platform. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and reach back, hold on to my pegs or my shoulder blocks. I'm not going to allow my shoulders to go down to the side. I'm going to lift them up slightly so they're my periphery. When I do this reverse ab curl, I'm not going to fling my legs over my head. What I am going to do is I'm going to squeeze in on the pegs using my underarm muscles or my lats. And I'm going to tuck my tail and allow my pelvis to float off the mat. I'm not trying to get all the way up to my shoulder blades. I'm trying to get a lower abdominal engagement and lower back down. Gravity's not taking me up. My lower abdominals are. Nice and slow with control. One more. And from here, if you'd like to add on, what we can do is we can release our arms down by our sides. From there, we're going to tuck our pelvis, Articulate up. Nice wide shoulder blades. Your shoulders shouldn't round in when we do this. You'll find that most likely your pelvis won't lift up as high in this position as you were able to with the pegs pulling yourself up. One more. Good. From there, I'm going to point my toes gently, flip my palms up so my hands are up by my shoulder, squeeze my biceps into my ribs. We're going to be doing coordination with our feet in the straps instead of our hands. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Extend your hands down to the foot bar and extend your feet. My arms are hovering off the mat. I'm going to turn my feet out to the Pilates feet, separate them the whole width of the reformer, squeeze my legs back together, turn them parallel, draw my knees in, draw my hands into my shoulders. Try to sit up and curl if you're able to, and press. Try not to Pilates feet, and 1 beat and 2 beat. Turn parallel, draw it back in. If you find your tailbones lifting, go ahead and keep your legs in tabletop rather than pulling them back further, and press. Curl up deeper, turn out to Pilates feet, and for a beat for 3, and a 2, and a 1, and parallel. Pull your knees in, pull your arms in, and press. Turn out to Pilates feet and beat for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Parallel, draw knees in, draw hands in. If you need, you can rest your head in your hands. Otherwise, reach it out, Pilates feet, and here's 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Really use the inner thighs, rotate the femur in the hip socket, pull back, release your arms, and press out. And now we're going to pulse up with our upper body for 1, 2. Reaching our ribs for our hips for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now 10, 9, 8, 7. Drop your abdominals to your spine. Now draw your knees in, draw your hands in. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Go ahead and grab your knees. Gently rock from side to side, but not so much that you fall off the reformer, right? Now I'm going to take 1 foot. Ooh, it wrapped all around my leg. Out. I'm going to reach and find the foot bar. Stretch my legs straight. I'm going to find my other foot and release. I'm going to take my straps. I'm going to come off to the side and I'm going to locate my box. I'm going to put it in a long box position on 1 blue spring. Here's the part where you can do 1 yellow spring if you like. Guys, from here, we're going to go ahead and sit on our box facing the uprights. Scoot all the way back for a second. We're going to extend our legs long. We're going to reach energy out of our legs. We're going to lift our arms up to the ceiling and fold over our legs in a hamstring stretch really fast. Try to pull your shoulders away from your ears and pull your abdominals back so they're not sinking all over your legs. Really draw your ribs to your hips still and center your arms slightly. Elongate your neck. Okay. Go ahead and slide yourself carefully forward so your feet are in the headrest. Here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to take the strap to my left or to my right hand. I'm going to place it around my right foot. That's for an exercise later. Around my left foot. I'm going to take my left strap and place it around my right foot. From there, I'm going to carefully raise my feet up so that I don't lose my straps. And I'm going to go ahead and roll over onto my stomach. Is this the weirdest, most awkward way to do this ever? Yes. Yes, it is. I've had teachers in group classes, though, where this is the way they had everybody get their straps for this exercise because they didn't want to do everybody's straps. And since you are on the screen, this is how we're going to do our straps. If they fall off, no problem. Go ahead and pause it if you're able to until you figure out how to get your straps on. Again, you're going to turn your body towards the strap that is on top. So, I'm going to bring my sternum to the front of the box, and I'm going to genie arm. I'm going to place my heels together, My toes are apart, my feet are flexed towards the ceiling, and I'm in at the bumper. From there, I'm going to hamstring curl and release. My pelvis is pressing gently into the box. My abdominals are up and in. My ribs are wrapped. My nose is hovering over the foot bar. If you find that you can't do this, you can always go ahead and wrap your foot bar for this exercise. We are going to raise it in just a minute for Swan. And hamstring curl. Release. One more. Good. And now we're going to hamstring curl with just our left leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now our right leg. Try not to shift the weight in your hips. Think of this like swimming or single leg kick on the mat. 2 more. Now, if your thighs are heavy and you're not elongated through the front of your hip flexors, you'll be tenting. So try to really stretch out and make your legs light. Now, we're going to stamp our feet on the ceiling. Up and lower. And stamp your feet. We're squeezing our glutes. I'm not rocking forward on my pelvis and feeling at my low back. This one's my burner. Good. Just the left leg for a 6. 5. Don't use momentum like I just did. 3. Control it. 2. And 1. And now my right leg will lift for 6. 5. 4. 3. Switch your genie arms, because I haven't done that yet. 2. And 1. Now we're going to combo them in just a second. So don't release your straps, but reach your legs long. And allow your head rest on your foot bar if you're able to. Otherwise, just allow your head to dangle slightly without any pain. Give yourself a break. If you're feeling your low back, draw your belly button to your spine even further to protect your back. Bring your feet back to that flexed foot, frog position, pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to combo these exercises. We're going to hamstring curl, lift our legs up, lower our legs, release the hamstring curl, and lift, and lower, release, curl, lift, lower, release, halfway there. Draw your abdominals up and in. 1 more. Not the feet and straps you were looking for? All right, left leg, curl and lift and lower. On this one, it's easy to shift your hips. Try not to do it. Good. 2 more on this leg. 1 more on this leg. Now, right leg, curl and lift, lower and release. My left leg is harder to do these exercises on. My glutes are stronger on my right leg. Everybody usually, for the most part, has a stronger side versus a weaker side. Just take note of it so you can work on it a little bit. 1 more. Okay. Extend your legs long. Try to drop your straps into the well if you're able to. If you lower your foot bar, go ahead and lift it back up. Make sure that your sternum's on the front edge of the box. Now that you're nice and loose in the front of your hips from that stretching hamstring, stretch the front of your hip. You worked on your hamstring. Gonna have some pain tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. I will for sure. My hamstrings, right? Definitely worked them nice and hard. But extend energy out of your toes. Press back for Swan. Now lift up into Swan, wrap your ribs. Pull down in your underarms. We've already warmed up all of this with the hamstring curl exercises. Our ribs are wrapped tightly. We were squeezing under arms for the genie arms. Nice long neck. Here's 3. Press it out, lift it up. Press just now. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Draw your abdominals up and in. Wrap your ribs. If you feel your ribs kickstanding or stopping all the way down, wrap your ribs tighter. It'll keep you from going up as high, but it'll protect your back. And press, pull. Good. Shake it out real fast. And flex your feet. We're going to come off to the side. We're going to be doing some upright pulls to the back. Again, if you were using a blue, but now you'd like to change it over to a yellow for this series, please feel free to. We're going to be doing this in a neutral spine. We're not going to be lifting up into a chest expansion or chest lift position. We've already done a lot of those, right? I'm going to place both my hands on either side of the box. Lift up one leg, lift up the other. In case you were worried that you weren't going to get any more hamstring leg work, don't worry about it. We're going to be in the same position that we were just in. Our ribs are wrapped, our belly button's pulling up. We're pressing our pelvis lightly into the mat to extend out the front of our hip flexors to make our legs light on the mat. I'm going to pull myself back to the uprights. And I'm going to tricep pull. So my elbows are coming right to the outside of my box and release. Here is where you could use a sticky mat under your body. And inhale to release. Here's 5. One more. Okay. And now I'm going to take my left arm and place it down here. If you need to, pull up and then place your left arm and genie arms in the front of the box. Now release, and now pull and release. 1. Try to leave your body equally weighted. Placing your arm in a genie arm on the front will go ahead and help you square your shoulders a little bit more. 2 more. Abs up and in. 1 more. Good. Switch arms. Pull it up first. Pull it up first. Place your arm in, and now release. Good. And now pull and release. We're going to 6. And then we're going to take a break. I forgot to place my sticky mat down. I can feel my body shifting a little bit. Try not to let your shoulder pop up when you come up and like go zoop. Try to leave that underarm engaged. 1 more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Abs up and in. Okay. Place your hands down on the frame and walk yourself back slowly so your toes don't hit the foot bar and you don't get hurt. I'm going to come off to one side. Sorry about forgetting the sticky mat. There we go. I'm going to place it right in the middle. I'm going to get back on my box. Safety first. Hand, hand. Leg, leg. We're going to be doing some swimming upright pulls. We're going to be adding on. If you're not comfortable adding on, please do the swimming as long as you can. And then you can press back into a child's pose across the box. A resting child's pose. Or reaching your arms long. Feels better. Relax your arms down to the side. Do child's pose on the floor. Otherwise, here's the series, guys. Pull it out, reach your arms long, pull it in, wrap your ribs, draw your abdominals up and in, make your legs light, and swim your legs. Inhale, and exhale. Reaching energy out of your legs. Inhale, and exhale. Now release back on the inhale, and pull, tricep pull on the exhale. And inhale, release. And exhale, pull. Inhale. And exhale. Optional is to do one arm. Inhale, reach your arm back without the release yet. And exhale to pull it back forward. I'm reaching the arm wide in a half circle to the side of my hip. And exhale back forward. 1 more. On each side. We can add on after this. And we'll add the release. So inhale, release your arm back, reaching your hand to your hip. Exhale to tricep pull forward, finding the upright. Other arm, inhale. And inhale. 1 more, and we'll do 1 more release and pull in the center with both arms. And inhale, release. And exhale to pull. Place your arms down on the frame. Walk yourself slowly back Reach your arms long. Rest your heads towards the well. Find a comfortable position for you. If this is comfortable, great. Another option is to bring your knees up onto the box and press your glutes back to your heels. Reaching your arms long, reaching them on the pegs. Coming forward a little bit. Doing child's pose on the floor. Whatever feels good to your body. Carefully articulate up to sitting wherever you are, or if you're laying with your belly button across the box, come off to the side carefully. We are going to be moving on to the first true feet and straps portion. So I'm gonna find my straps. I'm gonna place them on my pegs. I'm gonna take my box. I'm gonna put it off to the side. My straps are one red and one green on my machine. That is one medium and one heavy. You can lift your headrest if you like. We will be taking it down later. It'll just be for this exercise. If you want a cervical pillow, sorry I didn't mention it earlier, please feel free to go ahead and grab one. I'm gonna leave my headrest down. I'm going to come onto my back. Press out, place the strap on one leg, press that leg straight, find the other strap. Good. Come into a tight frog. Find a heavy stick. And we don't want any tucking, right? That's what we've been working on. So find the nice release, the nice stretch, press it out. See how low you can lower your legs and keep a neutral spine. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Feet and straps is everyone's favorite, right? Good. Here's 7. We're gonna go to 10. Good job, guys. We're gonna be working with a wide diamond, so a really long diamond. Okay. Pull your legs back in, extend them up into the ceiling in a Pilates feet position. Now, find a rotation in your femur in the hip socket, but press down, because if you're up too far, your tailbone will lift. So press your legs away from you an inch or two. And now, in the wide diamond position, squeezing your heels together strongly. Press down to a working level. Rotating your femur in the hip socket the whole time, keeping a flat sacrum, and lift. This is a lot of glute work, a lot of rotational hip work. If you find the weights too heavy, go ahead and drop the medium spring first and see if you can do it on a heavy. Maybe you replace the medium spring with a light spring. Maybe you just don't replace the medium spring at all and leave it just on one heavy. If the heavy's too much, then obviously go ahead and begin to adjust from there for your body. Really wrapping your ribs, dropping your ribs down to the mat, finding a nice neutral spine, especially after all of that work that we just did, which can get into the back. We want to really go ahead and release that right now. So we have a nice, comfortable position, a nice full body workout. Now reach your legs down to working level. You're going to find the position where you really feel the work in your glutes. See if you can find it. Sometimes you have to bend your knees a little bit. Sometimes you have to lower your legs a little bit. Whoop, there's mine. Now, we're going to close the book and open the book in the diamond position. So I'm going to bring my legs to parallel, squeezing my inner thighs, my knees, my ankles, my inner aspects of my feet, and then I'm going to open it by hinging the book open, separating my toes, separating my knees, and close the book. And open. Really find the movement, not by opening your toes, but by rotating the thigh bone and the hip socket. So really find the rotation with your hip muscles. Good. This is my favorite feet and straps movement. I think it feels so wonderful, especially if you can find the nice flat sacrum. Find your rib connection. Hollow it out. Let's do one more. Open it up. Float your legs back up to the ceiling. Stretch your legs long. Open your legs wide to the side. Place your hands on the straps and press down gently if you like. Try to so you can really hit the inner thighs. Now take your feet, place them together like they're two hands praying, and try to find a butterfly. And pull your straps into your body if you'd like to really increase the stretch of that. If you have hip issues or hip replacements, please don't do the stretch. Please don't do the wide stretch either. And don't do this stretch where you reach your legs flat, reaching your feet down towards the springs. Try to keep a flat sacrum here. Now float your feet back up to the original butterfly. Bend your knees in. For safety for your knees, take one strap out, front of the bar, stretch your legs straight. Take the other foot up and bend it back in. Good, we're gonna come to this side, come up to sitting. We're gonna change the spring out for one light spring. What's one blue spring on my machine? We're gonna be doing some quadruped work. If you have trouble with quadruped work, you can do this with a mat or a towel under your knee if it hurts your knees. So, I'm going to come into a position with my hands on my shoulder blocks. If you find this is too much for you, you can drop your hands down. If this is too much for your wrists here, you can come up to your fists so that you're not putting too much pressure on your wrists. If you find this position is good for you, you're just a little worried about your wrists, rock your hand forward slightly so that you're hooking the shoulder block with the meaty part of your hand so that your wrist is straighter and you're not bending and putting too much pressure on your wrist. So, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. I'm going to take my left knee and walk it to the center of my headrest. I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to bring it to the frame. I'm going to grab my right strap, place it on the arch of my foot, extend my foot wide down to the side, and I'm going to stretch my foot back. I'm beginning under tension. I'm squeezing into my left glutes, my ribs are wrapped, I have a flat back position, my shoulders are square, my hips are square, and I'm going to squeeze my glutes and hamstrings to lift my leg and tap the floor and lift. I'm not swinging my leg all the way forward. I'm not on the box, so I'm just tapping. I have a slight bend in my elbows, so I'm not popping into my shoulders like this. I want nice wide collarbones here. Nice squeeze under my arms. Good. Keep your hips square as you lift your leg. And now we're gonna lift our leg up. We're gonna open an inch and come across the body an inch. Squeeze your inner thigh. So this is outer glute, inner thigh. Our carriage will only move minimally during this. Wrap your ribs, draw your abdominals up and in. No swaying out in the low back. 2 more. Shoot energy out of that foot. Good, bring your leg right back behind you. 10 small circles the size of a baseball in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're doing this, make sure you're not doing this to move your leg. Your leg is doing the movement from your glute. 9, 10. Lower your leg. Bend your knee as it comes forward to bring your foot back into the frame. Lift your foot slightly. That's on the carriage so so that your toes don't get hurt when they come in. Replace your strap. Bring your knees back down to the quadruped position. Bring your right knee to the center. Bring your left foot up to the frame. Place your left strap over your left arch. Bring your foot down. Ooh, my leg was a little bit too forward on the carriage. I'm going to tap my left foot back. I'm going to lift and lower. Adjustment, sorry. Don't lift your leg up so high that your hips swing. We'll be doing that in a minute. We'll be splaying our hip to the side for air bust to the side of the machine. Good, shoot energy out of your leg. Squeeze under your arm. You don't want this to get in your neck. Wrap your corset tight to make sure that your ribs aren't flaring. 1 more, keep it up. Now open to the side an inch with your outer glutes, squeeze across with your inner thigh. Side glutes, inner thigh. The movement isn't so big that my carriage is really moving at all. maybe a slight little jiggle. I'm trying to keep it still. Squaring my hips, squaring my shoulders. One more. Bring your legs straight back. 10 small circles for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lower. As your foot begins to come past your thigh on the carriage, bend your knee to lift with your forward. Lift this leg up so your foot doesn't catch on the standing platform, and place it right there on the peg. We're going to be doing an arabesque to the side of the machine. If you're not comfortable with this, you don't have to put the strap on your foot at all. I'm going to bring my feet so that my calves are lined up with right behind my shoulder block, right at my shoulder block. You'll find what's best for you. Start at your shoulder block, and if you need less weight, move further back, because it's going to decrease the amount of weight on your spring or your spring tension. I'm going to take my right strap, or my strap that's closest to me. I'm going to place it on my right, above my right knee, or my leg that's furthest from the carriage. From there, I'm going to place one hand behind my strap and the other hand in front. Otherwise, I find that my straps rub me too much. I'm going to take my thumbs and place them with the rest of my hands. I'm trying to square my shoulders a little bit more, but my hands are roughly right under my nose, right under my shoulder. I'm going to reach my leg behind me, and then I'm going to splay my hips as I lift my leg up. I'm going to come down, square my hips, tap my toe just like we were doing. Lift with a squared hip, and then splay my hips to the side. Stretching energy out of my toe. Square your hip and lower. Now lift with a square hip, and then open your hips to lift your leg up higher. So we're working all the glutes here. Abs up and in. You don't want to sink in your low back as you splay your hip. You want to keep that same connection the whole time. You're just working a different part of your glute. My gaze doesn't change from my top hand. Good, guys. On this last one, we're going to keep it up there. We're going to pulse up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 small circles in each direction. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring your foot down, square your hips, tap your toe, sweep your leg forward, and pull the strap off your leg. Replace the strap on the peg. A lot of work, guys. A lot of glute work. We're going to do the other leg. We're going to do some more feet and straps. And then we're going to do some nice stretches, I promise. I'm going to press my right leg into the frame for support here, okay? So I'm not wobbling all over the place. It's going to give me some nice support. I've lined my leg up with the shoulder block. Again, if you need less weight, don't hop. Please place your foot down and walk yourself towards the uprights. I'm going to place the strap closest to my right leg, over my leg, bringing it over my knee. I'm going to place my right hand behind the strap, my left hand in front of it. I'm going to tap my foot back with square hips. I'm going to lift my leg. And then once I can't leave it square anymore, I'm going to rotate my lower body so my hips splayed. I'm going to bring my leg back down so my hips are square and tap my toe. And lift with square hips and rotate. Square my hips and lower. Square hips, splayed hips. Square hips and tap. Square, splay, square, and tap. Square, splay, square. Good, we have 5 more. Try to bring your leg right up behind you. Don't let the strap take it out to the side. Try to keep your upper body in the same position, just your lower body moves. 3 more. Thumbs are pointing with the fingers, they're on the same side as the fingers, so that your carriage does not pinch them. Now lift it up, now pulse up. 2, 3, 4, using your glutes. Stop, 10 small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, abs up and in. Wrap your ribs and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your foot down till your hips are square. Tap your toe. Bring your foot forward and slide the strap off. Good. Put the strap back on. I have my head rest down. I'm going to place 1 medium spring on with my 1 light spring on my machine. That is 1 red, 1 blue. I don't work in half springs. I'm going to go onto my side, roll down, press out with 1 leg, place my foot in the strap, straighten my leg, other leg. I'm going to scooch away slightly. We're going to come back into a frog. We're going to frog it out for 10. It is a different feeling. It is lighter. Try to really get control of your abs. It is more ab heavy, heavy. It is more ab heavy when you have lighter springs, less leg work. Let's do 2 more. Let's do some inner thigh work. Pull your legs into a frog, extend them up to the ceiling, Pilates seat, point to open, flex your feet, squeeze your legs together with your inner thighs. Make sure you have a nice heavy sacrum, a nice neutral spine. You don't want any tucking here. We are going to do some stretches. Let's try to keep the work in our legs for right now though. Now flex to open, point to close, and flex, and point. Nice heavy sacrum, wrap your ribs, sink your 12th rib into the mat on your back. Ooh, you can tell the workout's been hard for me. 1 more. From there, I'm going to open my legs to a V, the width of the reformer. I'm going to press my legs down. As I do, I'm going to bring them into working level, squeezing my legs together in the center. And as I bring them up, I'm going to separate them up to a V. I'm going to squeeze my legs down together at working level and separate them into the V, no wider than the width of the reformer. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nice movement after all this work. It is a little bit more ab heavy, but it still feels nice to move through space. Good, let's do 1 more, 2 more. So here's 2. And here is 1. From there, I'm going to squeeze my legs together at the top. We're going to do leg circles. Let's give them the width of the forward. So we're going to bring them down, squeeze them together, and float them back up. And open, and squeeze, and lift. Inhale. When we keep them the width of the reformer, it's easier for us to maintain our neutral spine. Let's reverse for the last 5, and inhale, and exhale and lift. If you can keep your tailbone down, you can go ahead and lift your legs up a little bit, but try not to flare your ribs in the back. Just even a slight inch lift of your feet towards your nose will really get you a nice hamstring stretch. And that's going to be something you're really going to want later. Good. Bring your legs down into a tight frog. Scooch away from the shoulder blocks. If you have neck, back, or shoulder, or neck or back issues, even shoulder if it bothers you, please don't do the short spine with us. You can do the reverse ab curls with your arms platform down by your sides if that's okay, or you can hit a child's pose running stretch you'd like. Otherwise, I'm going to inhale, press my legs to working level on 1. Exhale, float my legs up to the ceiling, tuck my tail, and articulate up into a shoulder stand, but not onto my neck. From there, I'm going to frog my legs, standing into my stretch. articulate down. So as I articulate, I'm still getting a hamstring stretch as I bring my tailbone down, but my feet aren't pressing up or pulling down. From there, I'm going to pull my feet to my tailbone with a hamstring curl. So press out on 1, float them up and tuck, and lift on 2. Bring my feet down to frog on 3. Articulate down, and then hamstring curl, and then press, and lift, articulate up, and bend. Really feel the stretch. Now on this one, if you'd like to reach your arms up to the V to increase the difficulty, platform your shoulders down, don't flare your ribs. Lift your feet, press it up. Now platform your arms down by your side. Come into the frog and press your legs up. Try not to move your carriage too much. Good. High frog. 1 more. Now, bend your knees in and articulate down, leaving your feet where they are in space. So you're still getting the stretch. And bend your knees in. Good. From there, I'm going to take my left foot out of the strap. Find the foot bar. Peg my strap. I'm going to reach my right leg up to the ceiling, going straight up. I'm not pulling it towards my nose. Straight up to the ceiling. I've stretched my left leg long, press my heel under the foot bar. My right foot's not pointed or flexed. I'm just relaxing in the strap. And now I'm going to begin to bend my left knee. I'm not going to allow my hips to shift. I'm not going to allow my tailbone to lift. But I am going to find a hamstring stretch as I breathe. Keep your right hip planted down. The more you do, the straighter your leg is, the more of a stretch you'll feel. Press your foot out, drop the heel under. Bring your right leg across your body, floating your right hip up off slightly, leaving your 12th rib on the mat. Take your left hand, gently press your weight into the strap. Don't pull it, but allow the weight of your arm to press the strap down. Reach your right arm up to the T, take a look over at it, and bend your left knee gently. Your hand will probably lift up. You won't need as much weight in your hand. When you find you don't need it anymore, go ahead and feel free to release it. Leave your 12th rib on though. It's not giving you any extra stretch to drop your foot below the front, guys. We're going for the IT beam here. We don't want to pop out of it. Bring your gaze back into the ceiling. Bring your right arm back onto the mat. Bring your leg up. Press your foot out again. Press your heel under for a calf stretch again. Now turn that foot out on the foot bar. Turn your foot in the strap out. Bring your leg out a little bit, not out so far that your left hip pops, just a little bit. And now bend that knee wide to the side. Go ahead and find that inner thigh stretch. Try not to let your hip shift. There we go. My hip was shifted and so I couldn't find it. So when I dropped my head, I was able to locate that stretch. Press it up straight. Bring your leg straight down. Bring your left leg across above your knee with your above. So we're going to bring above our left ankle across above our right knee on the thigh. From there, I'm going to bring the strap to the inside of my knee and bend in. Do not allow your tailbone to tuck here. Take a nice deep breath. Try to keep your sacrum heavy. Nice hip flexor stretch. If you have hip problems, please don't do this. We're going to straighten that right leg. Release our left foot. Bend the knee. Find the foot bar. Release our right foot from the strap. Press out with your right leg. Find the strap on your left foot. Ooh, this leg's very tight for me. Drop that heel under on the right foot. Enjoy that stretch for a minute. Leg straight up to the ceiling. Weight that hip. And bend the right knee. Keep that left hip weighted strongly. Keep your right hip weighted strongly. Might take it a minute, but it'll find the stretch. Your body will find it. There's a lot of hamstring work today. We want to make sure that we're nice and stretched out so we don't hurt ourselves. Press that right foot out again, dropping the heel under. Float your left hip off. Bring your foot across. Place your right hand on so you have a little bit more weight. Bring your left arm out to your feet. Look over at it. Now bend that right knee. Eventually, you'll find that your hand is no longer needed. You can leave it there. My foot wants to pop straight into the ceiling. I don't want that. Straighten that leg strongly to really find that hip, that IT band connection. Now straighten your leg, bring your head up to the side, bring your arm back. Turn out your foot on the foot bar. Bring the other foot to the side. When I did that, my right hip really wanted to pop up, so I really have to pull it down and then bend my leg and pull my foot up. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna have to drop that hip again. My hamstrings are very tight. Don't allow your ribs to flare. And now stretch your foot out on the foot bar. Bring your foot in the strap straight out. Take your right leg, bring above your right ankle across your thigh bone, right above your knee. Bring your strap to the inside of your knee and bend into the figure four, but keep a heavy, heavy weighted sacrum. I really feel the hip flexor stretch on this side, way more than I did on the other side. Good. Stretch your leg out long. Release your right foot. Find the foot bar before you take your foot out of the strap. Roll to your side. Come on up. I'm going to do one last stretch. I'm going to drop that baby spring for one leg. We're going to do a psoas stretch. Don't automatically pop into an Eve's lunge. We will come into the Eve's lunge, but we really want to find a deep psoas stretch first. So I'm going to line my toes up with the front of my wood. I'm going to tuck my toes on my right foot. So my toes are lined up with the front of my wood on my left foot. I'm going to drop my knee down. From there, I'm going to tuck my tail to lift up. I have my fingertips resting gently, but I don't want to be hunched forward. From there, I'm going to drop down an inch. It's probably not even an inch on my body, but I really feel that the psoas stretch strongly down the front of my head. I'm going to release. I'm going to tuck my tail. The more I tuck, I don't have to move the carriage. This is where I feel it, and I'm going to release. Now make sure your hips are square, because mine were not. From there, I'm going to try to keep the tuck as long as I can as I start to press out into a split. I'm going, if you'd like to add on, take your left hand, reach your bicep up by your ear, press into the foot bar, and reach towards the opposite side. Come back up through the center, bend your knee in. Come back up, find the psoas stretch, and then release. We're going to go to the other side. This is our final exercise, guys. I'm going to find my right foot. It's going to line up. My right big toe is going to line up the front edge of the wood. I'm going to tuck my toes on my left foot, press my heel into the shoulder block, and I'm going to locate a lifted position. Now I'm going to tuck and sink slightly with squared hips. I'm really going to feel it. My psoas is stretching out strongly. I'm keeping the carriage in the bumper. I don't have to move this to feel it. And release. Now tuck and just a little bit if you're able to. And release. All I really need is the tuck. One more. Now, keep the tuck as long as you can as you press back to a split. Take your right hand up, bicep by your ear. Press into the foot bar with your left hand and side bend to the opposite side. Come back up, find the foot bar. Bend your knee. As you come up, square your hips, find that psoas. Stretch one more time. And come up to standing. We're going to locate a Pilates view position with our feet. Standing up tall. Stretching out through the front of our hip flexors. And Inhale, arms up. Exhale, wide. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. Thank you.